Oh,
Cassell
no Kyle Pitts and no Cardell Patterson.
and no Giselle Brady. Nigga, fuck what you heard.
This is Aaron Rodgers' first game in London, baby. He's gonna run the
Nah,
DMT.
that's,
People are labeling it the worst football game ever played, the most boring game ever on prime time.
we almost had to have a gritty contest right now, right here, right
Oh
now.
shit.
Passing out the medicines. We've been on that rock star regimen, knowing that I'm heaven sent, higher than I ever been. I got a problem with
What's going on, you boys? Welcome to Totally Blitz Podcast. Today we're talking NFL Week 5 picks and predictions, best bets, prop bets, all of that. But before we hop into the video, please do us a favor. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. It all means the biggest to us. And also drop a comment, some games you like, some games you're betting on, anything you have for Week 5, drop it down in the comment section. But as always, these are your hosts for the show. I'm Paul. Pick 'em, win 'em, Concha. I got my shot poured up. Who's with me?
Yes, Sirski, man. You already know it's your boy Kev. Water boy, it's your boy, you feel me? AKA the Don P.Y.E. It's Saturday, man. Come crack a bottle with the PYE boys while we talk some football with y'all real quick, man.
Yeah, yes, sir. Man, before we talk at all these picks and predictions, we got to recap Thursday Night Football, which some people are labeling the worst football game ever played, the most boring game ever on prime time. No touchdowns scored through almost five whole quarters of football. What did you see out of this, Kev?
A lot of cooked. So a lot of motherfuckers that look cooked, kid. I'm like, God damn. And I'm not sure about the Colts. The Colts might be a bad team. But I don't think the Broncos are a good team. I think they can get better. But the rest of them are just not clicking. Communication is not there. You're not hitting your dudes in stride. You're missing wide open dudes. You're hitting, I don't know if it's your second or third read, but you're hitting dudes when there's another person wide the fuck open. Like when he threw the pick, there was a wide the fucking open motherfucker on the side.
And he threw the pick into where none of his people could have got it. Really, it was double coverage. Richard Sherman almost had a heart attack because he was run the damn ball. You're up. 3 minutes left in the game. 4 minutes in the game. Run out the clock. Kick a field goal. Give the Colts a minute less to try to tie the game when they haven't done shit all game either.
Game was pretty shitty, man. For lie to you.
Hey, and one of my big things is Nathaniel Hackett in the post game thing. He did say like, I chose to kick a field goal from 64 yards week 1. Everyone booed me. So this week I was gonna make sure that Russ had the ball in his hand. Like y'all can't. Basically, he was just like, y'all can't blame me. Y'all wanted Russ to cook. I gave that motherfucker the whole kitchen, and then I ended up getting burnt.
No, and it's interesting because like this team was supposed to be one of the reasons why the AFC was so tough this year, and I feel like this team can figure something out and get a little bit better with it. But as of right now, their offense is atrocious. Their defense has some great players. I think they have playmakers like Cortland Sutton, that stiff arm on Stephon Gilmore. Disrespectful. Like you have ballers, Patrick Surtain, baller. Like y'all got ballers on both sides of the ball. You feel me? But at the moment, that offense is embarrassing.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do a quick tout. If anyone was trailing the props I gave out, we went 3-1. Michael Pittman had a few passes broken up. If he would have just made one more catch, it would have been looking good. But shit, and then the bonus lock of under 43, never a question. That shit we rode that lock fucking all the way to the bank. And a couple things to note on the teams. Cornerback Ronald Darby and left tackle Garrett Bowles they're both out for the season for the Broncos now. So you took a L, and then now you also that like your third string corner and your starting left tackle both out for the season. That's some more hiccups along the way.
They got hurt in overtime.
Darby, I think got hurt early, and the left tackle I think was like halftime ish, third quarter ish when he got hurt. Hey, and Matt Ryan throwing an interception. Never had to worry about that.
We didn't. Oh yeah, low key. We didn't speak on this enough, but this coach offense is so bad. It's genuinely probably some of the worst shit I've ever seen. Like this is. I don't think they're exaggerating and say the most boring game of prime time. I don't know about all time. I haven't seen every prime time game, but like yo, These two offenses are so atrocious that I don't see an upside on either side at the moment.
Yeah, and one thing I want to point out was I was hearing the rumors of ever since Russ got 250 million, he doesn't want to put his body on the line. He's not trying to run. He's not trying to get hit. He's not doing QB sneaks. And it was really apparent on that 4th and 1 for the game right there in the red zone and overtime, and instead of taking the QB sneak for the easy one, they went into like a shotgun formation. Like they wasn't even like putting him under the thing right there, the short goal line shit. So I don't know. Like if Russ's biggest when Russ was cooking was because he was able to extend plays with his legs, run around, throw some deep moonshot, really be electrifying. Now he wants to be a pocket passer, slice and dice, and I just don't think that's not him.
Mm. So yeah, like we'll see if they figure stuff out, but at the moment they suck.
Yeah. Only thing they have, both these teams, what they got going is their defense right now. They're both defenses are phenomenal defenses.
Hey, it was Shaq Leonard still hasn't played more than like 3 quarters.
Yeah. But we spent way too much time on that boring ass game. Let's get into the picks for this week. We've been cooking up something. That boy Kev is riding the 3-0 in his locks and dogs. Maybe we can carry it over. And stay tuned for the end whenever we make our best bets and props in our locks and dogs. First game on the slate, we're going back to London, where the Packers take on the Giants. Packers home game, technically. Packers is favored by 8 points right now. Daniel Jones, I believe, is going to play, even though he's banged up. So that's at least they have a quarterback going out there. How do you see this one going out there and over there in London?
Man, I'm gonna let you say that stat that you said last week. This is the first London game that
both teams have a winning record, and first time ever where the league leading rusher currently is going to play in London, which is Saquon Barkley, and first time an MVP is going to go play in London, which is Aaron Rodgers.
I mean, they need to send Pat Mahomes to London. That's all I gotta say. London, London want to see some Pat Mahomes. But this is interesting how they went about this game because they had 9 home games this year. So they took one. So they said, "Fuck it, let's send one of those games to London." And this is the Packers' first time ever in London. So this is going to be like a showout. This is going to be like they left. I want to say they left Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
So like this is going to be interesting to see like how they maneuver. But I'll keep it a buck. I don't see too much in this offense at the moment. I think this offense can win games. I think they're proven to prove. But I don't think they're Russell Wilson. They're almost calling Russell Westbrook because like motherfucker, they're not like Russell Wilson and Matt Ryan and them. But this is an offense that is still figuring out their identity, and this might be a good defensive game. And hopefully it goes like that. But I just think it's interesting that they don't get the bye after this either. Everybody's kind of elected not to have the bye no more after the London game.
Fun fact: this is the most expensive tickets on the slate. So the second cheapest tickets is the Bills. Lowest tickets available, $185. Packers Giants cheapest ticket going, $470 over there in London. Them boys show out.
$470 for some nosebleeds.
Yeah. See, I agree with you where this is offense where it's been kind of stagnant lately, but I just think so. The Giants have a bottom 5 rush defense, and with the Packers, like Aaron Jones, he's been having really big games. AJ Dillon, he had one big game. He needs him to have another one. And I think this is the game where because I was telling you before, like the Packers are trying to run some 49ers-esque offense where they want to dominate by running the ball, but then that makes their life easier for the quarterback. But when your quarterback is Aaron Rodgers instead of Jimmy G, you can really be dangerous if that's the case. And I just see a big running game for these Packers offense, and I think Packers are going to come out and put on a show for them London boys. Giants, on the other hand, the only thing that makes me kind of think it might be kind of close is the Packers let Ramon Stevenson, Damian Harris, and the Patriots offense run all over them last week, and that's what the Giants will do if you give it to them. But I'm leaning Packers. I mean, you can't. I mean, I doubt you're going the other way. But this is Aaron Rodgers' first game in London, baby. He's gonna run the DMT.
out the deal to that. I'm definitely rooting for the motherfucking Packers. But I think this game has a chance to be a little closer and make Aaron Rodgers a little uncomfortable in London. But the Packers got to hold this down and get this W. No drop balls, no drop touchdowns.
Facts. Next game on the slate, biggest spread of the weekend. The Bills at home taking on the Steelers. And I could be wrong, but I believe the Steelers beat them last year, like week 1 or 2, when everyone was riding the Bills heavy. And like, so maybe it's like a revenge game for, hey, like last year y'all beat us this year. And Kenny Pickett's official NFL debut. How do you
But
see
the spread for this game is 14. Like, this game, if the Bills don't come out fire all cylinders, fuck them boys up, stop the run, and force Kenny Pickett to make mistakes on defense, Ken Dorsey might break some more motherfucking iPads. Like, this game is their game. There's a get back game. They've had some couple they just haven't looked unstoppable for the last 5 out of 8 quarters in the games that they've played. So this is their chance to really sit down, drop 1,000,000 points on the motherfucking Steelers, and continue on their title championship run that they're about to go on.
No, I can see it, and I just want to see. I mean, we're both riding the Bills. One thing I want to say before we go into the next game is I just want to see is Kenny Pickett better, because what I saw from him was he looked pretty good. He didn't look like he was afraid of the moment. He his 3 interceptions, but literally 2 was went through Chase Claypool's hands into an interception. Went right onto Pat Fryermuth's chest and then into the defender interception. So those aren't on him. And then the Hail Mary to try to like get the game back to close at the end. Like, so outside of that, like I haven't seen him make too many mistakes. He was 10 for 10 before that. So I just think let's see what these receivers look like.
Let's fucking find out. I got Deontay Johnson. I need him to eat.
Yeah, me too. I'm saying the same thing, brother. Next game, the Browns are hosting the Chargers. Browns are a home underdog. Chargers favored by 2.5 right now.
Browns might lead the league in home underdog games.
Shit, they just don't. They just keep undervaluing this team, I think. But I don't know. Also, because one thing that keeps me kind of afraid is just the Chargers. I think Chargers are the better team, but there's just so many injuries right now. Slater is out for the year, left tackle. Their backup left tackle didn't look too good last week. And Myles Garrett will be back. Keenan Allen is out again. What's the JC Jackson still banged up. Khalil Mack. So like they just have so many injuries right now. I just think they're the better team, but the injuries kind of scare me away from them. What about you?
I think they're a better team. I think if the Browns lead the league in home underdog, I probably lead the league in picking the Chargers. Like, I don't know. There's something about me that feels like every week they can make something shake. But there's a lot of injuries on this team. They kind of got back after beating the fuck out of the Texans last week. So this is another get back game, especially after the ass whooping. That's not that ass whooping they got from the Jaguars taste in my mouth. You feel me? So, but I'm rooting for the Chargers on this one. I know it's gonna look scary because the defense be giving up shit. Because Dameon Pierce had a good game against them, and Rex Burkhead had a great game against them last week. So Nick Chubb, who's had 110 rushing yards in 4 out of 5 games, is most likely gonna have another good game. And it sounds like when he gets tired and they put in Kareem Hunt, the good game shall continue. So I think the Browns are still gonna run all over them boys. I'm hoping the Chargers can make stops and create turnovers. Derwin James is a monster back there. But yeah, I got the Chargers on this one. Go Chargers.
I was leaning Chargers, but I don't know if we'll have many differences on this card. And this game is a toss-up to me because I could see the Browns controlling the time of possession with the run game and don't get the Chargers. And when Herbert makes mistakes is usually when he's like losing in the game, trying to bring his team back. But when he's in the lead, it's all smooth sailing. If Browns can make it dirty, at home, give me the dog pound. So let's go. I think Jacoby Brissett's not look bad. I mean, where the fuck was this Jacoby Brissett when he played for the Dolphins last year? Because this is not the same man.
Hey man, he probably wasn't fucking with old boy either. Your old coach, the
Flores.
Vikings.
Yeah,
Yeah, they
I
wasn't
wasn't.
fucking. Nobody was fucking with his ass. Nobody wanted to throw for his ass.
Our next game on the slate here, we have the Bears going to Minnesota to play the Vikings. Vikings are favored by 7.5, a whole touchdown.
I think the Bears are bad, but to give the Vikings up an entire touchdown is kind of wild to me.
No, I agree. Also, like it's non-primetime Kirk though, so like this is when Kirk typically looks pretty good, and at home he typically looks pretty good. I'm just so big on Justin Fields sucks train that that's something I can get off of it.
Bro, you said Justin and suck, and I was like, this nigga did not just say something about Justin Jeff. Like something made me think that you just talked about Justin Jefferson for a second. We almost jumped through the screen. We almost had to have a gritty contest right now, right here, right now.
Shit.
And I'm not gonna lie, my gritty is pretty terrible. You can tell I don't score enough touchdowns. But Zach Wilson might have a better gritty than me. But that's what I expect to see on motherfucking Sunday is gritties all over the place. But the way Justin Jefferson torched Marshawn Lattimore last week, yeah, I don't see anybody who could guard him. Well, they do have a good.
No one on the Bears can guard him. Honestly, they don't have that scheme.
Yeah, so like I'm expecting Kerm to have a field day. Adam Thielen to be involved. KJ Osborne to be involved.
The Bears are the worst run defense right now. Houston was the worst, but after last week, the Bears are now ranked at the worst with like 160 yards given up. So maybe this is the Dalvin Cook big game we've been waiting on.
That's interesting. So we'll see how that shit goes. But yeah, if you don't have the Vikings on this one, they're dangerous, man.
Yeah, and hey, biggest thing also, Bears lost their left guard, who's the best graded lineman on their offensive line. Big reason why that run game was working, and without him, I just don't see this. Like the only thing you had was the run game, and without him, it might be kind of hard.
It's not like Khalil Herbert finna hit the bench.
Next game, finally a close game on the spreads. The Patriots at home versus the Lions, everyone's favorite team. Patriots are starting Bailey Zapp.
Oh, the Browns and Chargers only 2.5, right?
Yeah. But yeah, the other games we've been talking all 8, 14, 7.5.
I looked at the fucking shit. I was like, yo, Paul, what's the spread? Because these look kind of hot.
Yeah, these some big numbers I'm seeing.
Yeah, these some big. I had to go sit down and find out what the hell is this. But this is actually going to be an interesting game because we don't know what the fuck's going to happen. The Patriots are nice. What do you think how this game goes? Because I know the Patriots gonna run this motherfucker like a motherfucker, but that might not be enough. But that might not be enough. But are the Lions gonna let Bailey Zapp torch them on defense, or is motherfucking Jared Goff gonna figure out how to Jared Goff and Jamal Williams in that offense figures out how to score another 35 points this game and just leave the Patriots down in the 20s.
Hammer all Bailey Zapp's overs. Okay, hammer them all. This Patriots defense, this Lions defense, bottom 3 in pass defense and bottom 3 in rush defense. They're laying up the most yards. They're laying up the most points. It's like not just the Seahawks game last week, but every week that they played somebody, each game, like the Vikings put up 28 or something. The Eagles put up 35. Every game that they've played, they've let up a lot of points. So like, yes, the Patriots don't look too good other than the run game. I'm big. I wasn't too big on Bailey Zapp might be the best quarterback over there, bro. Don't quote me on it right now, but the way he looked and coming out, I know he has the deep arm talent too. So like, I just want to see how he looks in this Patriots offense because they're known to make rookie young quarterbacks look good as long as they can follow the scheme. And with this Lions defense, it's not going to be hard to follow the scheme. And I think the run game is going to fucking they're just gonna run it all over them this game. I could see fucking 200 yards of rushing offense by this Patriots. And Bailey Zapp just needs to make the easy read.
And I like them this game where you run it on 35. Like it's be one of those games.
Time of possession might be like 40 minutes Patriots, 20 minutes Lions by the end of this. It's gonna be one of those. Bill Belichick, he doesn't lose the bad teams, especially bad defenses. He will scheme up a game plan to win.
Yeah, that's why I do not know what's going to go down in this game. I want to root for them. I want to root for my Lions. They got the 3 points.
Hey, they're banged up too, though. They Amon St. Brown, 50-50. Swift is gonna be out. DJ Chalk, the second wide receiver, is out. So they're still facing the same injuries on offense.
So we'll see. We'll see.
What do you make in your pick here?
I want to take my Lions. I'll take the Lions on this one just so I can be split with your ass.
I'm taking you do need everyone needs to find a couple dogs on these cards. They're not hard. They're not easy to come by this week. Next game, we have the Saints at home hosting the red hot Seahawks, where people are talking about Geno Smith MVP conversations. How do you see this going?
I think this is an interesting game because Geno Smith's put up 300 in the last 2 games. He's kind of feeling high. He's riding high.
I was just unheard of.
I thought you was gonna tell me that he's actually been dropping 400 the last 2 games. I was gonna say, God damn. But he's been active. He's played against 2 teams they've wanted to shoot it out with him. But the Saints probably feel kind of shitty right now after that double joint loss in London. They let Jay Jettis go all off on him. So unless they don't scheme this correctly, they should have Geno Smith running out of the pocket, feeling uncomfortable. Because Cameron Jordan, I hate him, but he's a fucking monster. So I want to see how this goes because the Saints might have to cool down the wrap their steam real quick. Even though fuck the Saints.
Andy Dalton will be starting, and I just think everything I said about the Lions, about their defense, Seahawks are in the same boat. They're bottom 5 in both ends. Andy Dalton looked pretty good. He just makes fast reads, and their offensive line is terrible, but the Seahawks are like bottom 3 and like creating pressure. So I just don't see, like, if you can't create pressure on a bad O-line, and they might look pretty good. Like, Olave is a weapon. Michael Thomas is out, I believe, but Jarvis Landry is going to be back. Olave, Kamara is probably going to play, and that rush defense is terrible, so Kamara might have a big game as well. I'm leaning with the Saints here, only because Geno's been balling, and it was against 2 back-to-back really bad defenses, and when the Seahawks played the 49ers like week 2, they lost 27-7.
Ooh.
And I just believe that like the Saints have that defense to be able to show like, this is why Geno Smith isn't a top 10 quarterback. Like, they're just gonna expose this kind of offense that's been red hot against bad teams.
No, I think that's a big thing. And if Dennis Allen lets Geno Smith eat on him, they will not. And I'm solidifying that they're taking 3rd in this division because this division is close as fuck right now. Everybody's the winners. I think everybody's tied at 2-2 right now. So,
and if I'm wrong and Geno does cook and the Seahawks win and they put up 24 points, they look good on offense, I'm going to retract what I said, and the Seahawks team isn't fluky, and they're actually a pretty good offense.
That's interesting if it goes down like that. I doubt it though. But DK has been DK and Geno have a little something going on, so we'll see if they can make it shake.
Our next game, we have the Jets hosting the Dolphins. Dolphins favored by 3.5 right now. I mean, you know where I'm riding. I think our low key, we have a really good interior defensive line. Christian Watkins has been ranked top 10 by PFF. Zaire has been looking really good. I just think we're going to be able to stop the run game. Zach Wilson isn't going to be able to do it himself. We've beat them like 4-0 in the last 4 since Zach Wilson's the starter. We're going to cook them. Like we own the Jets, and we always do. And I just see us, even with Teddy Bridgewater, but Teddy covers. That boy's going to cover again.
I like that. I remember when we had our before we started the podcast last year, and I think that was when the origins of that name coming on the podcast came from. Like, he does consistently keep him where it gets under developed. I know, especially when he used to play for the Saints. I swear every week he was doing something just enough to keep the game close. So I'm taking the Dolphins on this one. Tyreek Hill literally looked at the reporter and said, "Bro, I could put in work. I get 100 with you at quarterback. What you mean? Don't matter who's down, I'm still eat." So I respect that. I think this team wants to win for Tua. they're over here talking about changing the concussion protocols and everything like that. So like, this is just unnecessary hate that's all on probably one of the most unnecessarily hated players in the league right now. So I think this team's gonna come in fired up, ready to do something. So yeah, I got to take y'all over the Jets. But if y'all lose to the Jets, y'all will have to single-handedly fight me one by one.
Hey, well, I'll be ready. Next game we have the Bucks at home facing your Falcons. Bucks second biggest spread of the week, -10 right now. Kev, give me your case. Oh, no Kyle Pitts and no Cardell Patterson.
And no Giselle Brady, nigga. Fuck what you heard. Motherfucking fuck them niggas, man. I've been watching niggas all motherfucking week. Telling us, yeah, man. Tom took family and football in his motherfucking bio, so these niggas finna be a mother. Man, suck my dick, motherfucking fuck Tampa. These motherfuckers is gonna play out. This defense is gonna come through and they're gonna be fucking relentless. They're gonna be livid, but our Falcons O-line is a top 10 O-line this season. So let's see if we can guard Marcus Mariota. Let's limit the turnovers, which is not likely because that motherfucker is a turnover machine. And this Bucks team is very known to get in your face, make you uncomfortable, blitzing on third down. Damn, Darius Slay is nice. But I take my team with the 10 points, truthfully, because that's a lot of fucking points. And I think we can keep this game solid. And I don't know if their receivers are back yet, but let's see how this game turns out. I'll be rooting for us. I want to beat Tom Brady once. I've never beat this man. I want to beat the nigga once.
I will say Falcons have been scrappy, but the one thing scares me: no Patterson, no Pitts. Bucks D line is their best thing, and I love Mariota. Like I've been on that with talking with you before, but this D line I think is gonna create some havoc. If this might be the game where Mariota gets hurt. I'm not calling it. I'm not hoping for it, but I think there'll be a lot of hits, a lot of big boys in his face. And hey, Godwin and Evans are back together for the second week. That only helps. Brady's starting to get his receivers back. Fournette had -4 yards. I expect him to bounce back. Like you don't see back-to-back games like that. I expect them to give him the rock, give it to him early. And if there's any time for the Bucks to look good, it's this game. And if their offense struggles this game, stop. I want to stop hearing about, oh, Brady's gonna get it right. He's gonna get it under control. No, all right. This has been 5 weeks. After this week, I'm done. There's no more. I'll wait around. Like, okay, your defense will carry you. Welcome to your Peyton Manning years.
Especially with the Sunday night football loss that they went through. But it's just a bunch of confusion over there. I'm hoping that we capitalize on that. Todd Bowles not being in practice one day. This is a bunch of unnecessary bullshit ass reporter shit. So I'm just hoping that goes in our favor as well, even though that usually doesn't matter.
On the money line, you putting it on the Falcons, baby, for your money line pick. Okay, making sure. Big dog in the house. That shit barking through the roof.
On the money line and the motherfucking spread. I'm betting the house and the car.
All right, on to our next game. We have the Washington Commanders hosting the Titans. Titans are -2, -2.5. The line keeps moving. I'm gonna shock some people. I'm going with Washington Commanders this weekend. Biggest reason is because yes, Washington looked bad back-to-back weeks. Everyone's gonna talk about how he got sacked so many times and how they haven't did anything. Well, the first 2 weeks, Wentz was putting up over 300 yards of offense. Back-to-back weeks, he had the Eagles and the Cowboys. 2 great defensive lines compared to that O-line. The Titans do not have a good defensive line like that. Their O-line's banged up. I think Washington also had not Washington, but Titans also have a bottom 5 pass defense. So I expect Wentz to have a big game. This is gonna be a week where we're talking about Carson Wentz looks pretty damn good, and I expect him to throw all over this team. And Commanders low-key have a not really good, but a good rush defense. They held Zeke to 49 yards on 15 carries, Miles Sanders to 46 yards on like 14 carries, Swift to 56 yards, Jamal Williams to 53 yards in that same game, and James Robinson to 66 yards. I love Derrick Henry and all, but I just I think Commanders will be able to stop the run, and if you stop the run on the Titans, they can't do much else, and they'll be able to pass the ball against this bad Titans defense.
That's actually a great point. I'm kind of upset that you took that because I was going to use those low key as a sleeper pick, motherfucking those Commanders. Because I don't like this Titans team because they only do what they do in one quarter. They don't look great the entire game. Their defense doesn't look magnificent. I think they just have good drives back to back. And then once the defense adjusts, they kind of can't really figure it out after that. I don't think this is another team like. And because you dropped the stats about the motherfucking running defense, I'm like, oh, I really don't trust Derrick Henry in this motherfucker. I like the motherfucking Commanders in this one, especially with the points. I was lucky thinking about taking them as my dog of the week.
Me too. I have them, I think, as my dog of the week. I just really like Carson against this bad. They don't have they can't rush the passer, and they don't have the corners to be able to play good defense. So I expect him to ball. And then Colts fans are gonna be loud. We let go of Matt Ryan for him. But like, I mean, we let go of Wentz for this guy after Wentz balls out this weekend.
That's gonna be funny, but I'm waiting on it. I'm actually looking forward to that.
Both on the Commanders. That's our dog of the week right there. Lock it in. Next game, the Jaguars playing the Texans. Jaguars are at home. Jaguars are favored by 7 points. I don't think I've ever seen them favored by a touchdown in a long time.
That's a lot of points for the Jaguars. What is their rush defense like? The rush defense isn't all that, is it?
They have a pretty good D line right now with Trayvon Walker up the middle. He's actually came in really good as a rookie defender. And I can't remember the other defensive type. They're middle of the pack. I won't say they're great, but they're playing pretty good.
And they're pretty young still because they got their Josh Allen. What do you play, linebacker or
DN? Who?
They're Josh Allen.
Defensive. Yeah, he's the end. Outside linebacker. He does a little bit of both. And then Devin Lloyd out of Utah has been a phenomenal rookie. I really liked him coming out of Utah, but 7 points is a lot, but we're making money line picks. Always gotta remember that. Houston's worst rush defense, or second worst rush defense. They're allowing like 150 yards per game. I expect a big game from James Robinson. Trevor Lawrence, I think he's gonna look good again this week.
Yeah, no turnovers. I think it'll be a lot less turnovers. And Davis Mills holds the ball way too long. I think he's gonna look very good in the quarterback comparison.
I low-key expect a shootout. Like similar to the Seahawks Lions of last week. I expect this game to be like 30-27. And I think Davis Mills might show up here. But I don't know. I'm taking the Jags. I mean, the Eagles beat them. They had 5 turnovers, only lost by 8. That's always good to remember.
I can see this game going the same as the Vikings and Saints game in London last week. Like, it's a vibe. It's a big deal. And then motherfucking it comes down to it and somebody misses a field goal. I wouldn't be surprised if it went down like that.
Both Ryan, the mighty Jags will get it done, taking first in the AFC South if this happens, if they win.
I low-key forgot to bring this up during the Thursday night game. So they blocked a punt. They blocked the field goal last night. Is there any stats on what the fucking special teams is it like? I've never seen this many. That was the hardest thing to do in Madden, even though it would only take like one. It would take like 1 second. Like you're always like 1 second on this goes off. What the fuck are these motherfuckers doing to be making these plays on special teams like they are?
They got playmakers, bro. Like
motherfuckers, Minka Fitzpatrick help win a game off of special teams. Like that's insane.
Hey, that's just good coaching.
I'd love to see it, man. They're putting their ballers back on special teams. Like I remember the Steelers were always dangerous because they would put Troy Polamalu back there. Like you see what he did to Pat McAfee as motherfucking. Yeah. So it's just so interesting. But on to the next one.
Our next game, and I'm happy you brought up the block field goal because I expect a block punt in this game. The Panthers are hosting the 49ers here. 49ers favored by 6.5. 49ers might have the best defense in the NFL. Bosa's leading in sacks. Bosa's the highest graded PFF. He is a difference maker. I saw someone say, hey, bro, you just take the Panthers offense. Don't let the 49ers play a single snap of offense. And you take Panthers offense versus 49ers defense. I still think 49ers is favored in this game. Just because Baker's gonna make mistakes. We're gonna see turnovers. We're gonna see sacks. This is gonna get real ugly.
All I gotta say is I know how to pick defense in fantasy. because every draft I was mad as fuck because I would pick defense early. I'm a person that likes to pick defense early, so like every time I'd be like, but how the fuck did somebody pick the Ravens and Bills before me? But in both fantasy leagues, I got the 49ers and the Broncos. Broncos
Nice.
28 points last night when you trash out that trash ass game. And I was so upset. I wanted to be upset, but the 49ers scored 37 points last week against motherfucking Matthew Stafford. So against Baker Mayfield, this defense is gonna wreak havoc. Yeah, Fred. They still got Fred Warner, right?
Yep.
Yeah, like motherfucking, you got these playmakers and ballers. Baker's gonna look stupid. I like Baker to throw like 144 yards and like three picks, possibly a fumble. Christian McCaffrey might be able to be decent, but they're gonna be keening on him because he's the only thing they got. So this is gonna be a very slow, ugly game, but it's gonna look but the amount of plays that I made on defense is gonna look good if you're a 49ers fan.
And I will say, I think Panthers defense is still going to look good. They're really one of the most slept on defenses in the league, and it's only because their whole team as a whole is bad. And Trent Williams is still hurt, and I believe the backup left tackle for the 49ers got hurt last game, so now they're on to the third stringer. So I do expect Jimmy G to also see some of Brian Burns, some J.C. Horn to get in there, but as a whole, this 49ers team, they're going to make their defenses that much better. And Baker, this is a revenge game. Baker, when he was on Oklahoma, his most famous thing in college, when they beat Ohio State, he got the Oklahoma flag, waved it around, and stuck it in the middle of the Ohio State O at the middle of the field, pissing off everybody. Nick Bosa was on the Ohio State team, and he openly does not like Baker Mayfield since that incident.
Nice. Hey, look, Nick Bosa might get 3 sacks this game. He might be on some TJ Watt shit.
We might see Sam Darnold because Baker has to lead the game type shit. What Nick Bosa might do. Next game, we have the Rams at home hosting the Cowboys. Cowboys 3-1. No one would have seen this. Cooper Rush still undefeated. No one can tell him shit. How do you see this game going here? Is the Rams at home finally getting it together?
I think the Rams at home do get it together, but I think this is going to be a good game. I think this is going to be Cooper Rush. Kellen Moore is going to go deep in his bag to keep up with the offensive powers of Sean McVay. But it's this defense to me because this defense is the best thing they got. And they got playmakers on defense. Michael Parsons is always going to be disruptive. So I feel like there's going to be lots of times where Matthew Stafford looks crazy during this game. There's going to be some not 3 and outs, but there's going to be some stops on third down. That's going to be very critical. But I like this Rams defense to win them the game, even though they scored. How many points did they let Jimmy G score?
I think they put up like 27 or 20. They put up a good amount of points.
Yeah, I think they're embarrassed.
Oh, they did throw a pick 6 also.
Yeah, so I think they're embarrassed about how they let a team that only scored 11 points against the Broncos to win, drop so many of them. I think this defense steps up. Yeah, I think this is going to be the week that the defense had to nobody step up, play good games, and while the somebodies make plays. So, yeah, this is going to be the Rams bounce back at home. What do you think? Do you think this is even going to be a home game for the Rams?
I think it'll be a home game for the Rams, but I am on the Cowboys for this game, mainly because Micah Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence, this defensive line has been just absolutely phenomenal all year, and Rams have probably one of the worst O lines right now. Since Whitworth retired and they bring in new people, fucking rookies, it just does not look good. I think we could see, and Matthew Stafford, here's one of my lock prop bets. Like, he's gonna throw a pick this game. He's thrown 6 already. Like, he's gonna throw an interception, and Tavon Diggs might be on the end of it. We might see the pick 6, just like we saw last week. I've been saying, Rams bounce back almost like every week, and I got tired of saying it. So I expect this Cowboys defense to show up. Cooper Rush has looked great, and I think they sneak out another win here as a big underdog on the road.
If the Eagles weren't playing so well, I'd really expect this Cowboys team to just figure out what they're doing right now, and then just take that onto the season and win this division. So this Cowboy team is a good team, and I want to pick them, but I think I'll trust the Rams on one more bounce back game, just one more.
You gotta let it ride.
But the only team they've looked remotely good against is the Falcons to me.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, two more games left. We got the Sunday night football game. Ravens hosting the Bengals here. One of the 3.5 Ravens are favored by a little bit over a field goal. How do you see it is going? Is Joe Burrow gonna smoke them boys? Is Lamar gonna continue to go on his dominant run?
I'm actually looking forward to this game. I think Lamar and the Ravens have something to prove because they got fucked up twice by this Bengals team last year. So with them having something to prove and them not really wanting,
Bateman is out and Justin Houston's out for the Ravens. That was came out today.
but this Bengals offense is looking like they're about to turn it up again. These last couple of weeks, I feel like we're waiting on them to make a statement win, and this is their chance Sunday night, in front of everybody. Let's beat Lamar. But I don't trust Lamar when it comes to losing 2 times in a row. The way that they lost last week against the Bills, they should have won that game. They stayed stagnant. I think this is the week that they get everything together. Like this is, even though they're missing it. I think one thing that's big is that they're still missing their left tackle.
He's
Is it
up
left
in
or
yeah, no, their backup and third stringer got hurt, but Ronnie Stanley, he was on course to play last week, so maybe he plays this week, but we don't really know. He's still up in the air.
and this Bengals defense do got some hitters. They got Chuba Hubbard. They got
Ray Hawk,
Trey Hendrickson.
Hendrickson.
So they got some ballers on defense. So that's going to be interesting if they can exploit that and make it uncomfortable for Lamar. But I really want to see this as a get back game for Lamar. He's always looked good on Sunday night. I've watched him beat the Patriots, Tom Brady. I've watched him beat Pat Mahomes Sunday night. So let's see if they can get this win back and show that this is their division against the Bengals. But if the Bengals were to win this game, I really feel like they would turn it up and they kind of pick up this pace, pick up steam again.
Yeah, I mean, like, yes, I agree. Revenge game for the Ravens. Burrow dropped 900 yards on them last year in those 2 games. First game, Lamar was winning like 17-13. He gets hurt, and then Burrow wins that game, goes crazy that second half. Second game, they have Jack Johnson or Josh Johnson as their quarterback. It wasn't even Tyler Huntley. Huntley got hurt. So then they end up really getting smoked by that game. So people are going to try and tell you, oh, the Bengals own them. The Bengals killed them. You didn't see Lamar last year. Like, this is now Lamar's turn to take over.
Who did the Bengals play while we was at the Dolphins last year? Was it the Ravens or was it the Chiefs? Or was it the Titans?
It was either because the Chiefs, they also had an insane game against 430 something. I believe it was the Ravens because Chiefs, I believe, was like week 14, week 13. They're late.
And that was the game that Jamar Chase went to another level.
Yes.
So we'll see what this Ravens defense, if they remember that, because they've been looking pretty solid against some pretty good offensive.
Yeah, I also think Burrow, he threw 4 picks week 1, hasn't thrown one since, and I think he's just due. Like this, I think Ravens are their defense remembers. I think Humphrey or Ronald Peters, one of them comes out with an interception here.
Yeah, what about Kyle Hamilton? How's he been doing this year?
He's actually hasn't looked too bad, but this whole defense has been their worst pass defense or second worst pass defense in yardage right now. So like no one's giving anyone credit right now. But it's also like it's been early, 2 through 400 and something, and that like the numbers are kind of skewed. We'll see by week 10 if they're really the worst.
Okay.
We're both on the Ravens, I believe so. Next game, Raiders versus Chiefs, Monday Night Football. Chiefs are at home. I'm just gonna point out, I've heard it a couple times. People keep saying, "Oh, y'all remember when Derek Carr and the Raiders beat them that one year? Like they built a team that can literally, like, they might lose to all these other teams, but he built a team to be able to beat the Chiefs in particular." Blah 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 blah. Since Mahomes is the quarterback, they're 8-2 against this Raiders team with Derek Carr. They beat last year because it was 2 years ago when they beat them, when the Raiders beat them, and everyone's making all that fuss about, oh, the Raiders might have to answer for the Chiefs. Last year, they beat them on average of 30 points per game in those 2 meetings. I'm pretty sure Andy Reid and Mahomes remember all those headlines and remember all those, the close game and they lost in overtime. And they circled this Raiders meeting almost every year. Like, all right, we can't let those narratives come out again. We're going to smoke these boys anytime we see them.
Then every time they beat them, it's a big deal because they beat them the first time when they was trying to go on 16-0, when they went 15-1 or like 14-2.
And the Raiders were like 1-4 at that time.
I remember being at work and watching that game. Like, damn, that's crazy.
And then the second time they meet, is either they lost the first time, but it was like 40-41 on some real close shit. And then the second time the Raiders beat them, or vice versa. But both times that year was real close. And since then, it's just been ass whoopings the Chiefs have given them. So people want to lean into the narrative. Oh, the Raiders, they keep it close. No, they do not. There's a reason why this spread 7.5. They want people to bet the 7.5 because I get to keep, as long as they keep it within the touchdown, it ain't gonna be within the touchdown. And their left tackle for the Raiders just got he's out. He got hurt in practice. I think he tore his ACL.
The Chiefs are looking mighty again. That's scary.
Yeah. So, I mean, do you think it's gonna be close, or are you?
No, I think this is gonna be close, but I think there's I just want plays to be made. I need Josh Jacobs to figure something out. But it looks like they're gonna be running. They're gonna be throwing this motherfucker when you down motherfucking 24 in the fucking third quarter. So we'll see how this goes, but it's gonna be not a slaughter, but it's not gonna be close. You just saw what this team did to the Bucks. It's not gonna be close. They're gonna stay greedy the whole time and try to score a touchdown in every quarter.
Yeah, and you're at home against the Raiders. I think it'll be a big one. Before we move into the segments, we have to hop back into Eagles hosting the Cardinals. Oh no, my bad, I had it backwards. Cardinals hosting the Eagles here. Eagles are favorited by what? 5? Yeah, 5 points.
5.5.
Yeah. How do you see this going? Is it Kyler versus Jalen Hurts? Is it like defenses balling? What's up?
I think it's Sirianni versus
Kingsbury
versus Kingsbury in this one. Who's gonna Sirianni? You got to run it down their throat, but you gotta get vertical with them. Got to make them look crazy. And this Eagle teams look phenomenal. I think they're due for an L. But the biggest thing I like about this matchup is that, in my opinion, I think Jalen Hurts is who I thought Kyler Murray was when it comes to just being Jalen Hurts and them, they both have similar play styles, but you don't really see, like, I don't really feel like Jalen Hurts relies on making these crazy plays with his feet. I feel like he just makes good plays on his feet. I feel like he's a great leader, and I feel like he'll make those plays with his receivers. Like, I think Kyler Murray is spectacular because he's accurate. He'll make the throws. He'll take those big risks. He takes it down the field. He'll take it down the field, and he'll run all over your ass. But Jalen Hurts is in a system that was built for him versus Kyler Murray just going against the system because he is like that. So I love the Eagles in this matchup, but I want to see what Sirianni versus Kingsbury, like what they can do this offense.
When Kyler Murray came in, is the reason why they blocked Kingsbury in was because Kingsbury ran an air raid offense, which is the offense that Kyler Murray ran in college. So they brought in the coach for him. So they did make a scheme specifically for Kyler Murray. I agree with everything you're saying. That Jalen Hurts is the dog and Kyler Murray is the pup. And the big difference is everything you hear about Kyler Murray is him not being a leader, him not being able to be the voice in that locker room, all that stuff, the control to everything. Whereas Hurts, everything you hear coming out of there is Hurts is the leader. Hurts is Hurts. Oh, doesn't matter win, loss, anything. That's the guy. And the other thing is Kyler. I say they win games when Kyler can run, but I've always said Kyler's too small to be able to run 15 times a game because if he gets hit by a linebacker and tweaks an ankle, he's like we've seen in his rookie season, seen in the second season. When he gets hurt throughout the year, he doesn't play the same and they start losing. Jalen Hurts, that boy can squat 500, 600 pounds. That boy goes in the weight room. That boy be lifting. That boy can take those hits. He's bigger. He's stronger. So he can run 15 times a game and go through somebody if need to be. We saw it earlier this year when they had 3 guys on him. He's at the 5-yard line and he just fucking touchdown. Get off me.
And you seen it last week with that hit he took when he went into the end zone. And I'm thinking he finna die. He ready to see. after the ball comes, I'm thinking he's dead. He literally gets up like, yeah, and I was like, what is he built? What is he built out of?
Yeah,
Those
those are
been
like,
on the Hurts train for a minute. I was like, damn, Paul low key called this. Paul saw his potential.
and I'm saying now, none of these QBs that got the bag this offseason is playing good. They all play like shit. Kyler, Russ, Watson to be determined. But they all been playing. Like, you gave these $200 million bags for what? For this?
And now everybody got to get a $200 million bag after that.
Yeah, y'all fucked the game up for this.
That's how they got to. They're like, oh, got him.
Now if Watson comes and stinks up the bed, it don't even matter. It's like, oh, welcome to the boat. On to our favorite segment, though. Kev, you got to keep the mojo running. We can't switch it up. You went 3-0. I went like 2-1 or whatever. So, what's your locks and what's your dog this week?
So my strategy this week, because you made a great point when you said when we be picking like the games we think we know is gonna be like the Chiefs versus the Colts. We think, oh no, there's no way this can't go that way. Like that's when we get burnt. Like that's when we usually get burnt. So like I'm always trying to look for the games that like I don't really know for sure. Like if there were some less injuries and I had a little more faith in the Lions defense, I would pick the Lions versus the Patriots, like those games, those like either or. Like, let me see if the team can set something up. So this week, my locks are going to be very interesting because I never thought I'd do something like this. But I got the Jaguars +7 against Texans.
So the Jaguars -7.
Yeah, -7. I'm a tease it a +7. Tease it.
Damn, that's all tease, baby.
But and then I got the Eagles over the Cardinals. I think Jalen Hurts is a monster. Start off 5-0, even though they are due for an L. But they're looking great right now. They're playing good team. They're playing great, and their schedule isn't that tough. Maybe they might face a little bit of adversity at some point in that game, but yeah, I like them to just to get the lead and just punch it up and keep it. And then I think, what are we doing? We sharing dogs this week, man?
Oh yeah, so I'll hit my locks real quick before we announce the double dog on them. My locks, we got the Dolphins. Give me the spread or give me the money line, don't matter. Teddy covers. But we own the Jets. We're a lot better team with offense, defense. We've been playing well. Zach Wilson, I don't believe in him. I think we're really gonna show the world like he's gonna get sacked 4 times. We're gonna look really good against this team. Other lock, 49ers. Should give me the -6.5 since Kev took Jags -7. Give me the -6.5 on them boys, just because this Panthers team is arguably the worst, up there with the Colts and the Bears as like the worst offense going on. And at least they can blame like old quarterbacks or shitty quarterback. Y'all have a $20 million quarterback that y'all traded for. Y'all got nothing to do but blame yourself.
That's tragic. That's a good lock though.
And so we got a double dog. First time we both are double dipping here into the same pool. We both feel good about this team right here. I'll let Kev announce it since I broke it down for the picks. I'm gonna let him announce it for the dog.
So we're gonna take good old cousin Carl Wentz this week as a double dog. So please don't embarrass us, Carson. We want to, what do we call him? Crash on site Wentz.
Crash on site Wentz, Carson Vick, crackhead Wentz. It all fits.
Like, do your thing, man. Get this W against this Titans team that you guys match up very well with. But it's gonna be interesting if they lose this game because they're gonna start. This is the point of the season we're gonna start calling for coaches' heads because they're looking for Frank Wright's head right now.
Yeah, no facts. Well, shit, we hit the locks. We hit the dog. Before we head out, I'm gonna try to make y'all boys some money real quick. I got my best bets of the week, all spread picks this weekend. First off, I'm just gonna the two I've already kind of broke down: 49ers -6.5 and Dolphins -3.5. I already kind of told y'all why. Another one, Packers -8 at London. Giants had one of the worst rush defenses. They're gonna get the run game going, and when the run game gets going for Aaron Rodgers, there's nothing you can do against this Packers team. Then they start making the passes, they start making easy throws, and their defense is absolutely been balling right now. And hurt Danny Dimes, no way I'm I'm betting against them every time. Patriots -3. This is just because Bill Belichick against the worst defense in NFL right now, the Lions. They're going to run it all over them. Control time of possession. Jared Goff looked good against the second worst defense, the Seahawks, last week. People have been riding this Jared Goff train, and they look good. They also got no Swift, St. Brown 50-50. Second wide receiver Chalk is out, so they're still hurt. And if there's a coach that I'm going to bet in a small spread like 3, it's going to be Bill Belichick and his rushing offense. Bailey Zapp's going to look phenomenal out there, just making easy throws, just similar to like how the Packers are going to beat the Giants.
Bro, Boston Connor would fuck with you so heavy right now. If you heard that, I was watching the Pat McAfee show, and like you know how they got is it not Zito? Is it Zito that's the Lions fan?
No, Foxy.
Foxy's the Lions fan, so Foxy was trying to like self-handicap a little bit, and you could just tell Boston Connor was getting upset because only AJ Hawk picked the Lions. Everybody else was like, "Nah, I'm taking pick the Pat." Everybody else, I'm taking the Lions. He was like, "Come on, it's Bill Belichick against Jared Goff."
I remember last year it was the Texans versus the Patriots, and Texans kept it kind of close, but then eventually second half, the Patriots are still running the ball, controlling possession, won the game. So that's how I see this going. I have a bonus lock. I'm gonna make it 6 this week. Chiefs -7. They owned the Raiders. They have killed them last two games last year after they kept it close that first time. 8-2 since Mahomes played against his Raiders. Raiders just lost their left tackle, tore an ACL in practice yesterday. This Chiefs, they're Chris Jones and the rookie George Karlaftis, they're going to destroy that offensive line. The Raiders' offensive line didn't look good to begin with. So, yeah, Chiefs are going to run it up here.
No cap. It's gonna be a good weekend of football, man. But that's everything, dog.
I have one more thing. I got my prop bets this week. Just because I've been riding a hot hand, I was like, fuck it. I got to give the people some money. I'm trying to help you.
Let me know, man.
I'm pouring up a shot since it's a new segment. So cheers, my people.
Hey, man. D-Gens, what that is.
D-Gens only prop bets right here.
Uh,
I got 7, so I'm going to try to run them as quick as possible. Carson Wentz over 238 passing yards. Titans bottom 5 pass defense. Washington had a rough 2 weeks against Dallas and Eagles D-lines. Wentz didn't have no time. I expect them to have time against the poorest Titans pass rushing offense. So Wentz is going to look good here. Over 238, kind of easy. Stafford over half a pick as an auto pick. All right. He's thrown 6 within 4 weeks. All right. So he's going to throw another one. Probably the Tavon Diggs. Micah Parsons is going to create havoc against that shitty O-line. Joe Burrow over a pick. This Ravens offense is tied for the most interceptions this year with 7. 7 in 4 weeks. They find a way to get the ball. Joe Burrow hasn't thrown one in 3 weeks. He threw 4 week 1. I expect it, especially a divisional game. It's going to be, he might try those deep shots with Jamar Chase. That Ravens defense is going to be ready for it. They saw it last year. Their bounce back revenge game. I think they get a pick here. James Robinson over 62.5 rushing yards. This man's like top 10 in rushing yards right now. Second worst rushing defense is Houston that he's going up against that lets up 150 yards. Robinson's going to get over 62 yards. He's done that 3 of 4 games against better opposition. This is just way too, this line's way too small.
Free money.
Should have been at 80 yards, 85. So at 62, I'm hammering that one. My last 2 are the unders. I got Jeff Wilson, the running back for the 49ers, to go under 67.5 yards. Panthers got a good rush defense, good defense all around. No Trent Williams, no backup left tackle for them either. Their O-line's hurt. Panthers held James Conner to 55 yards, Kamara to 61, Barkley to 72 on 21 carries. Only Nick Chubb had a good game against them, but that's Nick Chubb. Jeff Wilson's not Nick Chubb. Under 67.5 yards. I expect that to happen. And Michael Carter, the Jets running back, to go under 30.5 yards. Breece Hall, the rookie, there's a reason why they spent the high draft pick on him. He's starting to be involved a lot more. He's taken over most of the carries, most of the targets. He's a lot better runner, it's looking like. And I expect the Dolphins' interior D-line, which looked really good so far, to own this Jets O-line that's banged up. Like they're on their 3rd or 4th left tackle. And Dolphins, I think, take an early lead. Once you take an early lead, there's not going to be much rushing opportunities left. So under 30.5 yards for him. And those are my 7 prop bets of the week. I went 3-1 on the Thursday night games. Hopefully we can ride this hot hand this weekend, boys.
That's a lot of game to give it up right there, man. You doing that for free?
For your game, bro. And tell them, bro, I haven't had a losing week yet. So even though I'm not hitting 100%, you're making money. Maybe make some bigger bets.
You just gave 13 bets up, motherfucker. That's amazing. That's fine. But it's about that time, man.
Yes, sir. Break it down for them, boys. Send us out.
So, hey, man, if you didn't know, I don't mind telling you again, you bitch, that this has been the Totally Blitz Podcast, NFL Week 5 previews and picks. We got you. We gave you your best bets, your motherfucking
prop bet.
And we told you what it is and what it isn't going to be, man. But we got to go get ready because football is at 9:30 in the morning again, top of the morning. We in London with it across the pond. And we're going to fuck with y'all later. Make sure you like, subscribe, share. Follow us on Twitter, totally_blitz. And make sure you keep up with us, man. Drop a like, comment, and let us know if you ever hit our bets, man. But if you don't know, we're going to tell you one more time that you's a bitch.
Totally Blitz Country. Let's ride.